Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle. It's just us.
It's just us. After that, what did we call it? The Bedlam episode that we had Sunday night after the Sunday. It was so much fun, guys. I will say that. It was just, huge shout out to our West Coast, Best Coast peeps, and just how fun that was just to get together and talk about the game. Honestly, I'm like, we should do it every game. It'd be so fun.
And let's be honest, I'm sure it was more fun for the Vancouver people after that game, but we had fun too.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So it is Thursday. What are we on? January 29th? January 29th. So the day after we played Ottawa, the day after the mega Wednesday night of all the teams playing. Yeah. So 4 games last night, one of which was ours. And
all of which I was at work for.
Yes. We'll get there. But sadly, we lost. And we
spectacular.
I was like, and we shouldn't have lost. And if it wasn't for the last 5 minutes of the game, we wouldn't have lost. But anyway,
last minute.
We'll get there. Yeah. We will get there.
Shadowing.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, I would hope that everybody already knows. If you're a fan of the show, you probably know that we lost on Wednesday night. So last game for everyone moving into the Olympic break. And we'll talk a little bit about more about that later, about what's going to happen for us and all that kind of stuff. I wish I could say that we're going on a 4-week hiatus, but we're not.
We are not.
We've got too much to talk about, guys. No, but no, we want to keep engaged with you guys, definitely, even over the Olympic break. So we got some stuff planned. We'll see what comes up. If nothing else, we'll talk about the Olympics because heck, why not?
Right.
But let's talk about last night. So the game started at 4 p.m. our time, and Patti had to work at 2, 3. I couldn't remember, obviously. She had to work at 3. So you were at work the entire time. And it's funny because we haven't talked about like what was going on for you like during the game at all. Because for me, I started the game late because we don't start the bus pickup until 4 p.m. Like the little one doesn't get off the bus until like what, 4:15, 4:20.
Yeah.
And so like we don't even start that routine until after 4 o'clock. Yeah. So long story short, I waited until I got home to start the game, and I had shut down, like I have a special like do not disturb on my phone now that just shuts down all the apps so I don't see all the apps because I didn't want any spoilers. And so after I got everybody home and situated and homework started and all that jazz, I started watching the game. So did you start right at 3 or 4 o'clock?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was 4:10, but I got on there and it hadn't started yet because I just see the game center. And so the score's up there and it tells me how much time is remaining. And I mean, I can scroll down and see the shots and the hits and the block shots and all of that. But I'm also at work. Okay. I'm a 911 call taker. Well, I'm a data dispatcher right now in training. And I don't have time to just watch it. So I'm like looking up and then I have to scroll to other, pages and do actual work. So then I come back. So it was very intermittent for me, but it was just like, look at the score. And then so looking at the score and updates.
Yeah. So I was probably, I don't know, I might have even been an hour behind, to be perfectly honest. So I think that it was into the second period when I started watching, if I had to be perfectly honest, because let's talk about the first period and then we'll talk about the second period. So the first period, when I started watching, I was on delay and I was fast forwarding through commercials and all that kind of stuff to try and get caught up to live, which I never did. But that's because I had to make dinner in the middle of all that too. But
life.
Yeah, I know. But, let's talk about the first period because you actually just watched the game this morning and in its entirety. So it's probably a little fresher in your mind. But honestly, the ending of the first period was no score. Like we had no score and we ended in a penalty. So we ended in
the penalty was right at the end of the period.
Right at the end of the period. So we were starting out second period with
dice, 2 minutes,
and then one man down. So anything else happen in that first period that you want to talk about?
I mean, we were outshot 2-1. I mean, shots on goal in the first period was 6-12.
Yeah.
So it
and Schroeder was standing on her head. I mean, she really was. She was doing a great job in goal. Like she was just stopping everything that came her way.
It didn't feel that one-sided. Like, okay, they outshot us and our goaltender was huge and everything like that, but it didn't feel like we were. I mean, the commentator said it was so sloppy on both sides.
Yeah.
So, there were missed passes and miscommunication and there were a lot of shots on their end, but I felt like we, had a little bit in there, had a little skin in the game. So, but shots were double for
Yeah.
Ottawa.
And I mean, the commentators kept saying like it's a clunky game, like it doesn't feel. And I mean, and I guess I agree. I think the big thing that I want to talk about is that Lexia Gia was playing on, we'll call it the rookie line for right now because I don't really know what else to call it. And it's funny because we talked about this last night.
She
Like
doesn't want to call it
I don't like the numbers because
No.
it feels like it's a hierarchy that way. And I don't want to like take away from the fact that like obviously the one that we call the Avengers line, like that is our, those are star players. Like I don't want to take that away from them, but I also think like everybody's important on the team. So that's kind of why I wanted to name the lines rather than use the numbers, because then I'm like, we can just call them by the name and then that is the line that they're on.
And this throws a real wrench in the spokes of her when the lines are juggled, and the lines have been juggled.
Yeah, the last couple, but
So
at least in this game, I feel like he meaning Steve, coach was keeping to the lines that we had set forth at the beginning of the game. Whereas that other game, the one that we won,
they were just
it was
juggling.
like every line was different every time, and it was almost really hard to see who was on the ice. But in this instance, Lexia Gia was with Buglioni and Lily
Delianatis.
So they moved Brooke Bryant
up to Serdachny and
not up.
Well, okay.
They just moved her
to Serdachny and Snodgrass.
The premier. No.
The
premier line with Bucky and Snodgrass.
Okay.
Serdachny's on the 3AB line.
Okay, sorry. Yes. I said Snodgrass. I didn't mean Serdachny. Sorry.
You said anyway. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I was half right.
Okay, so the premier line, the line that we've been calling the premier line, which what used to be Lexi, Bucky, and Snodgrass. Lexi went to the rookie line, and then Brooke Bryant came up. I'm doing it too.
You did it.
Came to, I just hate the up and down, like that drives me nuts. Moved to the premier line. So we're still going to call it the premier line, even though it's harder to hold water with that without Lexi on it, but it's okay. It's okay. So that was the way that they played all night long. And I will say, for me, I felt like Brooke Bryant did an amazing job on the premier line. I felt like I saw Bucky all over the place. Yeah, and I feel like Natalie Snodgrass was also doing an excellent job too. But I will also say I think the reason why, and I didn't hear Coach say this anywhere. He might have said it. I haven't watched post game or pre game or anything. But I think the reason why he moved Lexi was to try and get some more production out of that rookie line.
Keep a little spark to the rookie line.
Yeah, because
Lexi has spark.
She is one of the hardest working. Yeah, she is one of the hardest working members of our team. I'm not gonna lie. Like she's booking it. So it was an interesting thing to see. It was just of note, obviously, that the lines, otherwise the Avengers line and the 3AB line were exactly how they have been, with Bilka on the Avengers line and with Gosling on the 3AB line.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else that we need to talk about?
No. So that was the first period.
Okay. So then we start the second period in power play. Right. So which is interesting because during that power play, that's when they got the 5-minute.
That's 5-minute major game misconduct for boarding.
Well, it's a major check from behind.
Okay,
is what they're calling it. But I think the initial call was boarding because she was skating towards, and it was Peyton Hemp skating towards Bilka, and it was ugly. It was ugly.
I'm so glad Bilka's okay.
Yeah,
and continued to skate for the rest of the game.
Head against board.
He was in that dangerous place of like 3 feet away from the board where,
and she was bent over. Like not only like her head was down, and
very dangerous.
And it's funny because when Jenna talked about the hit that she, that took her out for a couple games, she said she didn't see it coming. Yeah. So I'd be interested to hear. Again, I haven't heard Bilka say anything about it, but I'd be interested to hear whether Bilka was prepared for that hit or not, whether she knew it was coming, because I think that can make all the difference, right? If they're prepared for it versus
absolutely
not.
That does help. But the position where she was, and they even talked about this, was like there's no way to brace yourself because you're far enough away from the boards that you can't hold on. You can't brace yourself against the boards. You're just at the mercy of where you fall. And she fell face first into the boards. Yeah. And I mean, people have been paralyzed from that from that hit. So in this situation, and knock on the big press board that Bilka got up and is okay.
For sure. Okay, this is really interesting because I'm looking. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is now we're in a 5 minute major. So we had a 5 on 3. There's a minute. Yeah, there was a minute of 5 on 3 because we were still in the 2 minute penalty, the original 2 minute penalty that expires, and then we have 4 minutes left of a we're a man up, a power play and
player up, yep,
a player up, and that is when Hillary Knight scores the goal, but Carpy's not.
They took it out. Which is
okay, so we're gonna talk about this because this has been the topic of discussion in many circles that we live in with this hockey community, because Patti is of the belief, and I'm starting to now believe her, that we cannot win a game where Carpy doesn't get.
Every win we've had, Carpy has had a point.
Meaning an assist or a goal, not meaning she got a goal, meaning she either had an assist or a goal.
Yes. And that doesn't mean that every time she has a point, we win. But we have not won a game without her on the scoreboard.
Right. And interestingly enough, so this is what I want to talk about this a little bit more. So this Hillary Knight goal, I had my phone, I had shut down our group chats and our texts, and I see a text come through from Patti because she's on my VIP, and it broke through.
Okay, let's talk about that. I'm number one VIP, right?
It broke through the do not disturb on my phone, and it says Carpy points, Carpy points, Carpy points. So I'm like, I know that somebody scored. I didn't know who scored. I didn't know if it was I didn't know if it was Alex Carpenter. I didn't know who it was, but I knew somebody had scored at that point because I saw that text. And then I was like, and she was like, oh, I told her, I was like, okay, you can't text at all. Like, you've got to text people outside of our group chat if you want to text. So, but long story short, they took that away because it says that Hillary Knight.
It's a scoring change because it was on there.
Yeah, no, it was. It was. No, I saw it originally. Because when I finally got
second assist, but it was there.
When I got caught up with it, because that was before I was caught up with the game. So when I got caught up with the game, I knew that. It's so funny because now I'm like watching. I'm like, when is Carpy's got it? Carpy's touching it. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be.
It's so hard to watch the game when you have
when you know something. No, but anyway, so. And when I saw the goal, I was like, oh yeah, Carpy to Eldridge tonight. Like, that's the way it went. So like Carpy got the second assist. Well, on the official scorecard that I'm looking at right now, it's been changed. It's just Eldridge to tonight. So Carpy didn't get on get any points this game. So Patti's superstition is now holding water, and no pressure to Alex Carpenter.
No pressure. It's an interesting factoid.
Yeah.
And
that up until this point, we have not won a game if Carpy has not been on the scoreboard. So also of note is that was Hillary Knight's 50th point. Right. So I think this was really interesting too, because later in the game, Jenner scores her 50th point as well. And they had, well, yes, but I'm saying at that point when she had scored her 50th point, they had the exact same stats.
Yeah.
It was like 24 goals, 26 assists. Yeah. So it was really cool because in the same game, and the commentators were talking about it. Well, you just watched the game. You saw that.
Right.
The commentators were talking about it. It's like in the same game, they were equal. They were completely equal. And obviously
and it's the first time that two people have gotten their 50th point in the same game.
Yeah. Yeah. And they also said something like Carpy had taken like 300 face-offs at that point.
The most face-offs ever
of anybody in the league. Yeah.
And there was another stat that creeped up that kind of creeped me out, was hits. Like Vancouver leads the league in hits by a lot. And we are like dead last, like not by a lot, but by quite a bit. Like, do we need to be more physical? Do we need to hit more? Because I don't know.
Well, and the topic of conversation today, and even some last night too, and we can talk about this more, is defense. And are we doing enough on defense? And what does that look like? And I am not well-versed enough in hockey in general to be like, oh, this is what needs to happen, blah, blah, blah. But as my casual observer, now becoming a little bit less than casual or a little bit more than casual, I could tell that we were not doing as much on defense because of the last two goals, but we'll get there. So we scored 5 minutes in, and we were on a
5-minute major.
We were on a 5-minute major, so we were on the power play. So they stayed in the box the entirety of the 5 minute because nothing changes in a 5-minute major.
No jailbreak
when scored.
Yeah.
But it
wouldn't have been a jailbreak.
No,
anyway. but they don't come out.
They don't come out of the box.
Yeah.
They don't come out of the box.
Yeah.
So then we get a slashing penalty at almost 10 minutes. Anna Wilgren serves her two, and we kill. We go on penalty kill and we kill that power play.
Hit.
Yeah,
Like Ottawa's hitting us left and right.
yeah, and then we end the second period with
Up 1-0.
up 1-0. Right, absolutely. And that Barnes kerfluffle. Oh no, that happens in the third,
That's in
doesn't
the
it?
third.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Because I want to talk about that too. Did
yeah.
anything else happen in the second? Did Snodgrass or was it Serdachny? Who was it?
The
With her wrist?
Oh yeah, I think that was in the second
Was it
when
Serdachny?
Dardakny.
Serdachny,
Yeah, when it
yeah.
looked like her hand was
Well, she
stuck.
slid it off the ice and then she was
Just like
holding
her
it
and
on the
yeah,
bench.
it's
And
like
so, yeah, we're
just
like,
hold your
don't.
breath.
Well, like, I mean, when Bilka got hit, like, and basically at this point, I mean, I know Serdachny's not going to the Olympics, but it's like, you just don't want anybody to get hurt, especially like going in Bilka. It's like, oh my gosh, like not going into the Olympics, like we don't want her to get hurt. So
Mhm.
we don't want to get hurt
Anyone can
anyway.
get
No,
hurt
we don't want
at
anybody.
any time.
No, no, no. But yeah. Anyway, so and the other really interesting thing that they talked about, I think they talked about this more at the beginning of the game, was Teralova. So Teralova was again not she was a injured scratch or
Yeah, I think she was on
she was
injured
injured, but
scratch.
she's already
In Vegas.
Italy.
She's in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that she had already gone to Italy and that she was working with the trainers there in Italy with Team Czechia. So hopefully, she'll be healthy enough to play for the Olympics and then healthy enough to play when she gets back. Please,
Yeah.
we need some help on D.
Yeah.
Okay.
We miss you, Netta.
Yeah. Okay. So we let me see. So now we're in the third. We're up by one. I'm feeling pretty good.
Mhm.
We're leading.
No first period goals, which were short. We're short on first period.
Well, yeah,
We got
that's
goal in the second.
and I think that the stat is like we're definitely third period heavy goals. Like that's definitely
Not
no,
last night,
no,
but
no,
yes.
no. In general,
Yes.
normally we score more towards the end of the game. So like for us, like having is like honestly, this is what I thought about the first period. At the end of the first period, I'm like 0-0 is great because it means number one, we don't normally have any production in the first period anyway. So it's like not having any goals is fine for
And we
me.
didn't let any in.
But that was what I was like, yay, we
Yeah.
don't have, there was no goals against us in the first period either, because that means that we at least get to start the second period on even footing and then in a power play, which ended up in a, eventual goal. We did get a goal. So, so then we start the third period.
Early in the third.
Yeah, 5 minutes into the third. And I didn't see what preceded.
2 minutes.
What?
2 minutes into the third.
What are we talking about? Oh, they got
The
their
goal,
goal.
yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, so they got the tying goal. I'm sorry. They got their tying goal. Katarova, 2 minutes into the third period. Yeah. So then we're even. We're tied up.
Yeah.
And then at 5 minutes in, I didn't see exactly what happened, but
Well,
K-
Mirazova.
Murzova.
Mirazova.
Murzova. I don't know how to say. I feel bad. I don't know how to say her name, but so.
I mean, she hit Barnes and knocked her
Well,
glove
she
off
didn't have her stick
stick.
or her glove.
Yeah, and and Barnes was a little bit miffed, which, as you are when you get knocked out and your equipment comes off. And she stood up and gave a little back. Oh
So-
no, it wasn't that way. It was Mirzova came back.
Right. So I don't know. So again, I don't know how Kayla Barnes ended up without a glove and a stick, but she's standing on the boards. Mirzova is right there and she shoves her down. And then Mirzova gets up and then
shoves her
turns and then shoves her down. And so I didn't see what preceded that. I'm sure there was something that happened, but and somebody's going to come in the comments and tell us. And I'm sure there's clips out there now, but it was the most 6-year-old behavior I'd ever seen. Like, I'll be perfectly honest. It was just like I could see all over Kayla Barnes' face. Oh yeah, like I'll show you and shove.
Take that.
Yeah, you shove me down, I'll shove you down. So anyway, it was just kind of funny because like go back and watch the clip because I mean, like I said, the clip that I saw didn't have the preceding, like what happened up to the point that Kayla shoved her down, but like it was like definitely like a you shove me, I'll shove you, like we're gonna be like schoolyard bully situation. So
And then the retaliation is what got caught. Actually, both retaliations, because something preceded it.
yeah,
And it looked like Kayla retaliated.
Yeah.
And then Mirazova
yeah, but then they both got
Yeah.
it was 4-on-4 because they both got put in the penalty box for 2 minutes. So, which was warranted.
Mhm.
It was warranted. And then 10 minutes in, Eldridge got a beautiful snipe.
Beautiful snipe
Yeah.
with a great pass from Dax. I
Yeah.
mean, it was really a nice pass.
And it was a breakaway. I mean, they were coming down, and
Hmm.
so it was. I don't even think that they were outmanned or outpersoned, outplayered. Oh gosh,
If they, it was an
outnumbered,
outnumbered.
outnumbered. Yeah, like I think I gotta get that gender neutral.
We do, and it's something that we need to work on
Yeah,
because, and I claim this because I come from the NHL background and, cheering for men and too many men on the ice and, linesmen. And there's a lot of things we just need to change that. And I'm going to go back to the NHL and do it too because too many players on the ice, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. I
You
think
know?
just using general neutral terms
Yeah.
is important. Like, and it's funny because it's like I was even last night when I was cheering, because the boys were watching with me,
Hmm.
and like even using female centric terms, I'm like I shouldn't be doing that either because
Hmm.
we have a non-binary person on our team,
We
right?
do.
And so it's like I don't want to like ladies or I don't girls
Girls.
drives me nuts. I won't
That
ever say
drives me
that,
nuts.
but women or whatever. It's just like why can't we just athletes, players, like we just need
Skaters.
skaters, like we
Yeah.
just need to use the general neutral terms in general because I think it's just better for us
Hmm.
as a society.
Yeah.
Okay,
But it
sorry.
was a nice snipe.
Stepping
Yeah.
down.
Third game in a row that
Yeah, so
Eldridge got.
yeah,
So she's on a three game goal streak,
yeah,
and that's her second point of the night.
yeah,
And she's just looking really good. That pink scrunchie shining.
yeah. So it was good, and seeing her smile after that goal was
Yeah.
great. So that put us up one. So now we're 2-1,
Hmm.
and we've got 10 minutes left in the third, and I our oldest was really watching with me at that point.
Cool.
And he was
I'm
like,
just hearing this because
yeah,
I was.
yeah, no, yeah, you were at work. And he was like, "Oh, we're halfway through the third." Like I'm like, I just want to be like, "Oh, don't get your hopes up, don't you?" And then the commentators start talking about, "Oh, this is a really important win because it's 3 points and da da da." And
Clips above
I'm like,
Toronto.
stop talking about
Yeah,
the outcome
they
of the game.
didn't
Yeah,
stop.
they didn't. The entire 10 minutes left of the game, it was just, it was felt like one hit after another of like, okay, please stop talking. Please stop talking. Please stop talking. And it's funny because up until this point, I've never really understood what Patty meant by like muting the commentators, but I definitely wanted to mute the commentators last night. And I don't even mind these commentators because in general, they're really good and they know what they're talking about and they're knowledgeable. But like, I just felt like everything they were saying was like, okay, now you've jinxed us. Like, now we're not going
Now,
to win this game
now that's
because,
going to happen. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's interesting though that after the Eldridge goal, really nothing happened. No hits,
Mm-mm,
no shots, no
mm-mm.
nothing for like 4 minutes, four and
Yeah,
a
four and
half
a half
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
And then they score and tie it up.
Yeah. So then we're tied. And so that's with, 5 minutes left, 5 minutes left in the game. And I'm thinking in my mind, and of course the commentators are talking about like, okay, I'm like, we need to win in regulation. And I said this to, our
Mhm.
oldest. I said, we need to win in regulation because we need the 3 points. Like the standings aren't looking good for us right now. Like we need the 3 points. We need the 3 points. And maybe I was the jinx. I don't know. But I was just like, okay. So I they tied it up and then I'm like, okay, so I was like, we just need to get a point, we just need to get a point. And then Megan Carter takes that penalty
With a minute
with
left.
a minute left.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I
it was a penalty. She cross-checked her face.
she did, and I'm sure it wasn't malicious. I mean, I don't think, I mean, she is
No,
a very
she's defending
physical,
the goal, and which that's what our defenders need to do is they need to play the body at the goal and
right,
not look at the puck, play the body, stop the body. And she,
right,
there was no goal on it. She
right.
did her job. Was it a warranted penalty? I don't know. It was a very significant penalty.
Yeah. It was very significant because then within, 13 seconds of each
Mhm.
other, they scored, the game winner and then the insurance goal right after. And I will say, and this is where I kind of want to talk a little bit more about about our defense, is that both of those goals were goals because the two shooters were literally standing right in front of the goal.
Mhm.
I mean, Leslie was she just it was I mean, granted it was a tic-tac-toe. I mean, it was a ping ping ping, but it was
Mhm.
she was standing right in front of the goal and there was not a defender in sight.
Mm.
And I felt like Emily Clark, look, she turned around after she made that goal and was like, "Ugh, I didn't even realize I was going to do it." Like that's how, I mean, there was no one there.
Mm.
And so I think that that's really what got the conversation started about okay, what's going on with our defense?
Mhm.
Like what, because it feels like offensively, we're the lines look like they're coming together. I mean, there weren't a lot. There were some mistakes last night as far as like misconnections and maybe not as good of
Turnovers
communication,
and
turnovers and that sort of
mhm.
thing. But that wasn't what was lopsided. about the game. Again, because it's very, if you go back and watch the last 2 minutes of the game, you'll see what I'm talking about.
It's heartbreaking.
If we got into our frantic place, like I don't know what happens in their minds. It's definitely a mental thing that when we are tied and it is close to the end or whatever, they get frenetic and it just feels chaotic at that point. And
Mhm.
so I don't know. I don't know what happened with our defense. I don't know why it went off the rails, but
Yeah. I don't know either. And I know Caleb was on the ice for the last goal, but overall, I mean, every time Caleb Barnes is on the ice, it's like she's two defenders. Like I feel like
well, and not just two defenders, but also she's playing offense too.
yeah,
Like she's
got
shooting.
that
Yeah,
shot
I
on her
mean,
knee and yeah.
and I'm not saying that our other defenders aren't doing some of that. I feel like we do have some more. Like I think Emily Brown is more of an at-home defender. I don't feel like she's an as an offensive
She
defender.
got a shot on goal tonight, but she is a stay-at-home
Yeah,
defender, I
and I
think.
think that
Yeah.
and I said this
Dependable
and I said this to you. I feel like she does a good job
on the
on
boards.
the boards. Like I
Hmm.
feel like she does a good job of recovering pucks and creating turnovers and that sort of thing. But there last night, at least at the end of the game, it didn't seem like there was any presence of
Net
ours
front presence.
in
Yeah.
front of the net. So
Yeah. It was a heartbreaking last minute.
it was
I,
it
I
was
mean,
a
and I knew it was coming. I knew pretty much the outline of everything. And I was just, I mean, at one point you came out and I'm watching it on the soap and
oh
you're like,
this
are you
morning.
okay?
Yeah, this
Yeah. I'm
morning.
like, no, this is painful.
Yes, yeah. So I just want to say, it was heartbreaking. Like it was heartbreaking to not win this game. And it doesn't change the way we feel about the team.
Oh no, it makes me love the team more. I am a root for the underdog kind, and if we're underdogs, fine. And right now we are underdogs.
So those that follow us on social media, we got an apology from one of the players. I'm not going to name who it is, but you can go look on our social media and find it if you're interested. And I actually sent them a personal DM and I said, You don't need to apologize for not winning a game." I was like, that's, to me it's like we love this team and it's not going to always go right. Like it's not going to always go right. And that was heartbreaking, but it doesn't make me love the team. It doesn't make me not want to root for them or not want to
We
be a
will be
fan.
there at the
Oh
next
yeah,
game.
yeah,
We will be there at every
yeah.
game.
That's what they were like. We'll be back at CPA on the 27th. I'm like, yes, we know. I already have my outfit planned for the next game. Come on.
She does.
I do actually. We went shopping the other day. I got a couple things. Anyway, so yeah, so a little bit of a little bit of a sadness,
Yeah,
but
because this we have to chew on this for a month.
a month. So yes, so let's talk about the next month. So all of the players that are going to Italy got on a plane today
Hmm.
to go. And so I believe the Olympics and just, we'll tell our audience this now. We're going to put this episode out Friday, so you'll obviously
Going
know that
go
because it'll be
7.
out. Yeah, it'll be out.
Mhm.
And then we are going to do an Olympic preview on Monday to kind of outline like Olympic scheduling, Olympic players, like that sort of thing. So it's going to have a Team USA slant. I'm sorry, guys, because that's who we're going to be rooting for.
Yeah.
Not that we don't care about Team Canada. And it's funny because I was actually having a conversation with somebody at work, another hockey fan. He's a fan of the New York Rangers.
That's okay.
No. He's
I'll
cool.
hate
No,
him.
we're, yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy.
He's a very cool guy, and we talk about the PWHL regularly. I'm trying to get him very interested. He lives in New York, and I was like, "You should be a Sirens fan."
Yeah, sirens need you.
Yeah. So anyway, but we were talking about he's like, is there anybody that can compete with Team USA and Team Canada? And I was like, I said, keep your eyes out for Czechia because I said their numbers coming from the PWHL are not they're not as numerous. Like there's not as many of them that play in the PWHL, but I would say at least one from every team,
Mm, at
if not
least.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna do some research, guys. We'll have better numbers. But I mean, people are going to play for all, Germany, Finland. Like, I mean, we'll have done more
Italy.
research. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have done more research. We'll have better numbers. But anyway, so it's going to be an exciting Olympic tournament. But the Olympics don't start until a week from
A week from tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, but
Hmm.
that's just opening
That's opening
ceremony.
ceremony.
Yeah, so we're not again, we'll have the whole schedule, but just so everybody knows, Monday we'll do an Olympic preview. We'll talk about the schedule, we'll talk about when games are and all that jazz. We'll figure out where you can watch stuff if we can get that information, which I'm sure we can. And then Well, we are probably going to have some special guests. That's kind of the plan over the next month, is to get some special guests on the podcast. While yeah, fingers crossed. While that schedule is lined up, really, honestly, it's just about scheduling, that we can actually find a time, because we both work full time and other people
I
have
have two children.
other responsibilities.
Mhm.
So we're just trying to find a time to schedule with people so we can get some special guests on during the Olympic break. And then so those will just be Monday episodes. I don't think we're gonna plan on having any bonus episodes unless something weird, crazy happens. And then the February 27th is our next game. So that is a home game. It's here in Seattle, at CPA, and we will be there. I'm actually going to bring friends. It's the first time I brought friends to so it's just been family up to this point. So I've got a couple of friends that are going to be in town. They're going to come to the game with us. And then we'll start, talking games again on the podcast after that.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else happened over the last 24 hours?
No, I mean, no. I'm not gonna.
Patti had a really sad look on her face, guys, when she was watching the game this morning. I'm not gonna lie. I really did. I walked in the living room because I'm working and she's, not working till tonight. And I was like, "Are you okay?" Because the game's on. She's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I was like, "Oh, geez." And she knew. I mean, she knew what was coming, and it was
Felt
still,
like I was like,
it was
oh,
hard to watch.
2-1.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew it.
it was
I
hard
knew.
to watch.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch. It would have been hard to rewatch for me too, so I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are your final words?
My final words, my final thoughts are 1 minute. So much can happen in 1 minute, and yeah, it was a heartbreaking minute.
Yeah.
So,
And on that happy note,
hey, you know what? It's all up from here.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in last place, there's no place to go
Hey, we
but
have
up.
2 games, at least 1 game in hand on everyone.
No, that's not true. Boston and I are Boston.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
We both
Boston.
have
Yeah,
14 games in?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Boston. I was looking at that actually. I was like, they have 30 points and we have 16, and we both have 14 games. Boston's killing it right now, guys.
Yeah.
Boston is killing it. So, I mean, props. Like, I'm no shade. They're doing a good job. We just wish we were in their place, and we're not right now. So,
No, and
guess what? That game was entertaining. I will say this, like, and this is what I told Patti. I was like, I asked her, I was like, "Are you going to watch the game?" She said yes. And I was like, "That's good," because I actually think there's some things you need to see. Like, number one, seeing Hillary Knight score her 50th point, beautiful. It was great. It was awesome to celebrate her, to see her in the. Did you watch the interview in the first intermission?
I did.
Yeah, to see her in the first intermission be celebrated, it's great. It's awesome. I love it. That Eldridge snipe. It was a beautiful goal.
Pass.
Oh my gosh, that one from, I forgot because you said Kayla on her knee. I was like, oh my gosh, had that gone in? Because didn't Knight pass between somebody's legs or pass between her own legs? Somebody passed between legs on one of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, if that would have gone in, that would have been the shot of the night, like no matter what. So it is still so entertaining to watch. And I was actually thinking about this. I love having the commentary because it helps me understand what's going on in the game. But there is nothing like watching live hockey in the arena. And I'm just like, I cannot wait. It's going to be a long month. It's going to be a long month.
We miss you already, and it's been like less than 24 hours. Like, seriously, we love the team. We love our players, and we love games.
Yeah. We haven't heard about any watch parties for Olympics yet, but if we do, we will put them out on social media. We'll let everybody know. But
and try to get there.
And try and get there ourselves if they're not.
Hard.
Well, working, just having jobs in general is hard. Too bad. But yeah, so okay.
That's it.
Okay, well, we will have, like I said, our Olympic preview on Monday, and we will see you guys then. Bye-bye. And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.